Yeah, and we are live. Thanos Sheed in the building. We got the gauntlet on today. I'm ready to break these men down and have a discussion. What's going on and what's the real deal? And if you see the title, you already know what's going down today. So we'll wait on some people to pull up and we're gonna have this discussion. You already know. So people that don't know, like I said, what's going on, Bitcoin there? I got time today. Hey, I didn't have time yesterday. Maybe didn't have time a couple of hours ago, but I got time right now. We're gonna go ahead and drop some little stuff here and there. But when it boils down to it, like I said, I'm waiting to push in some more people before I actually drop some more stuff about this. But like I say, you see the title. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop it in. No women today. I ain't say that women can't come on and panel. I didn't say that women can't come and talk. But I said no women because Thanos Sheed right now just snapped his finger. So all the problems, all the worrying of these women, they gone. But the dudes who have all the issues, they gone. So what are you gonna talk about? They not an issue. You know what I'm saying? You living happy. You living happy. So you can say you married, but we ain't talking about the women. You can say, yeah, I got an old lady, I'm married, but that's it. I ain't know she get on my nerves. I ain't know these women don't act right. And you know my favorite, these women choosing wrong, you know, all that is gone. Only thing we talking about, in my opinion, what needs to be talked about is the money and getting yourself together. Shout out to Gold Professor and the 9 laws of self-government. Rule number 3, apply selfishness. It's about you right now, thinking about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the women gone, what else to be said? What are we gonna gather from this? You know what I'm saying? Because we can't say how they did this and how they did that. They gone. That no snap, baby. The women are gone. Like I said, women can come on the panel, women can talk, you know, but we're not having issues with women on the panel. They gone. I want to talk about building. So, like I said, the women are gone. So we're gonna actually do a moment of silence for the women. You know why they gone and all the problems and issues. So, moment of silence right now. And we back. Like I said, we had issues, but we ain't got them issues no more. Um, there's a comedian by the name of Bill. I think his name is Bill Block, and he was talking about buying a gun, going into a gun store, and basically, you know, yeah, Bitcoin. That's what I want to talk about, the money and the words of Platt and word shout out to my boy Kane. Let that money flee. But you pretty much say go somewhere learning about guns and everything. You say The man told him, see over here with the shotgun, it's the best gun to have because it got a nice spread. See, you got 10 people over here, you point that shotgun over there, them people, you got a problem with those 10 people, you ain't gonna have a problem no more, you know. And you start shooting the say, you see them people over there on your left side, you take this shotgun, you cock it, you squeeze the trigger about two times, you ain't gonna have a problem over there no more. So basically what he's telling you, if you did have a problem, they gone. Not saying that they dead. If they not dead, they not sticking around. So basically, you know, this is the play at hand. They gone. Ain't none of them sticking around. They are gone. So what is the next step? You know, this whole building the community. This is what we doing over here. This is what I want to do over here. You know, but the point of it is, I gotta constantly, like I keep saying, constantly, you know, what's going on right here. But like I say, you know, you gotta constantly remind these guys that right. You might didn't hear this, but it's Thanos. I'm Thanos Sheed right now. I just snapped my finger. All the women, they gone. It's not an issue. You know, you can come on. You can say I'm married. You can say you talk about this. You can say, you know, how you gonna build, how you gonna make money. But what you ain't gonna do is come over and talk about how bad these women are and complain, or you know, to a degree, you know. And a lot of stuff what men are not complaining is just to the issue is when we keep having these conversations, it's circular to the point where some guys are not getting it. Just move on. Leave them alone. Don't deal with them. You know, that's my thing. You know, like I said, I was more focused on my money when I was single. I made a lot of money when I was single. I tend to, well, I take that back. I made a good little bit while I'm married too, but majority of my hustle came from when I was single, man. You know, um, when I got married, I got into more or less a couple of organized things about, you know, business aspect, but for the most part, you know, man, I was focused on my money. You know, I was making the money, doing what was needed to be done to, you know, set the standard on wife and kids. You know, I wasn't focused too much on all the bullcrap. You know, if I wanted a chick, I go look for me a chick. Chicks weren't choosing. You know what I did? The chicks I wanted or the chicks, you know, I wanted to deal with. If it was an issue for me finding them, guess what? I locked down and went and got money. There were times when I went out of town, I was just having so much fun, man. Just out of town, just making my money, no issues, no not worrying about, you know, who I'm a, or what girl I'm gonna take out when I get back. I'm good. So my thing, that job I worked at, I was so focused on the money, like I would literally come back in town, knowing I had to go out another day or so, just stay in the hotel up by my job, you know, and just reflect. There were times where I was gone for like 3 months out on the road. I didn't have nobody to answer to. You know, I didn't have no girl to say, come home, I miss you. Oh, this and that, you making too much money. Money ain't everything, you know. But when the issue came up to when something needed to be paid, you would always get that notion to where you got it, don't you? All them extra hours you I didn't have that issue. So basically, like I said, man, I was focused on the money. And, that talk yesterday, man, that was a great deal. We talked about the life insurance, man. Like I say, that's one of my biggest components. So when the guy was breaking it down, even before Alonzo came, I technically already knew what type of policy he had. I knew what he was dealing with before he even got down to it. So the more he broke it down even further, not to step on Alonzo's toes, but him being a professional, I was already running game. Like I knew what was what. I knew what the 411 about that whole thing was. And I'm gonna be fair to an extent. I probably don't even get that much views on this because even though the woman thing up there, people gonna flock to it. But the first time they start hearing about everything that I'm talking about, accountability and making money, they're gonna run. They're gonna run. That's why I like going over there on Real Deal Finance, man. Mike Shannon. Real Deal, we be over there, man, talking about buying property. You know, be looking. One of my sites I always refer people to because of one of my friends. He's actually a real estate agent. Hope that AC ain't too loud in the back. But one of my friends, a real estate agent, and he always telling me about this site called HomeSnap. You know, that's like it's funny. I'm dealing with a property right now, and quick, mama, what's going on? I'm dealing with a property right now in which I'm doing some work on the property, and the guy wants to sell the property. I know the ins and out of the property, so I basically proposed to him, how much you want for it. And pretty much, if he give me a good number, I got a guy right now. He's thinking about selling like one or two of his rental properties to put down on this 4 units, you know, in Brookhaven. Real secluded area, you know, it's in a triangle to the point where no issue, a lot of trees, a person would cut them down to protect the property, but that's what the insurance is for, But understand when it comes down to it, hey, I'm always trying to hustle and make some money, man. You know, I do, in a sense, like Roger, man. Out here, got multiple jobs, trying to make some shape. You know, like they say, I got a family to feed. They depending on me. And that's the biggest thing, man. You got to start hitting that grind, that pavement. Even if you don't have kids, you got to hit that pavement for yourself. You know, I was talking to a guy. He had a good business proposition to where he took a little time, and he thought it was going to be in his best interest. I told him, no, man, never stop the hustle. You know what I'm saying? Never stop the hustle. What's going on there, Nixon? But never stop the hustle, man. You continue grinding, you continue going. See, a lot of people don't even, they not influenced a certain way. To where, man, my mentality is, man, I'ma go. My wife, I tell her, like, when I clean, I literally try not to stop till it gets done. I'm pretty much to a position to where, you know, when I'm committing to something, I pretty much try to get it done to the best of my ability and as good as fast as I can. I'm not doing it too fast to where I'm gonna sit there and injure or hurt nobody, but at the same time, I'm trying to get the job done. Can't nobody cover for me. Hey, shout out. But the point of it is, like I say, man, for people that's coming in, man, it's Thanos snap. This is the she, Thanos she. So when it come down to it, man, I snap my finger. All the issues that we have with women are gone. All we focusing on right now is the money. Talking about building. Like I said, I refer to Real Deal Finance, man. That dude, when we be over there, man, focusing on the money, talking about stocks, talking about properties. You know what I'm saying? I remember him from BGS Hangouts. Coliseum night. We over there clowning and joking with each other, man. This guy, young brother, put himself in a, position to win. And the only way, you got to put people around you, man. That's got some type of knowledge, man, that want to pursue just like the way you want to pursue. You know, when it come down to the situation, man, Will Smith, he said it best. You only good as, the friends that are around you. All you got is hustlers and killers. That's gonna be your mentality. But the point of it is, you don't have that mentality. You forcing your friends not to get in that mentality. You know, I got married. I had another partner get married, and another partner get married. You know, one of my partners had a kid. Another one got a kid. You know, me and one of my other partners, we was kind of considered the outliers because we ain't have no kids yet. You know, we weren't looking to deal along that line. You know, I wanted to go ahead and wait, but circumstances when I got pregnant. I mean, when me and my wife got married, then that's when she got pregnant and had the kids. You know, like you gotta sit here and figure out what you want to do. Shout out to Ricky, what's going on, man? You know, like I said, right now, man, this Thanos she, Ricky. I snapped my finger. All the issues that you have with women are gone. Now, we ain't got nothing to worry about but the money. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got nothing to worry about but the money. So for everybody, that's coming in, this the point of concern right here. Like, how much money am I going to make? What type of investments I'm going to deal with? You know, I don't have no issue with these women no more because they don't exist right now. Any problems I had with them, they gone. My main focus on is being productive. You know, how much money am I going to make? What am I going to influence? Who am I going to help? I told you guys this is the basis of my channel, man. Is to put these young men in position to win. You know, that whole money over everything, man. You know, we ain't gonna have a problem because there is no problem. You know, and if it's a problem, let's try to find a solution to deal with. The situation at hand, we have young men that need help. You can't help everybody, so what you gonna do? You can start a channel telling these young men how to, move a certain way. You can put yourself in position to win, to get people to look at the bigger picture. You know, that's the thing, man. Now, for people that have, boys and girls, because I focus on my son and my daughter, I want both of them to be productive, man. I want both of them to win in life. I'm not gonna sit here and put my son in position to win and not my daughter as well. You know, I put both of them in position to win. I understand, the space and how we talk and what we do. But when it comes to my house, my channel, my house, my rules. You know, my daughter, to an extent, I know she's gonna be all right, but still, I'm not gonna let her dry. I'm not gonna hang out to dry. My son as well. My son gonna have it harder. So my son is gonna get more provision than my daughter. But the point of it is, she's not left out. You know, but like I always say, if these kids have an issue with me, then that's a bad issue on them. And when I say bad, I mean that'll cut you off. You know, big bank take little bank. And for my kids that I have an issue with, you better hope that you have a big bank. Because when it comes down to that, I tell the people, man, you know, I don't let kids run my house. I don't let kids control my life. So when it comes down to a point where kids want to be grown, that's what they are. They are grown. So they will and deal on their own. But like I say, you know, a shout out to, Mike. I glad he started posting more now because, he's trying to get guys to get this crazy stuff out of the way. Just like um, Jonathan is too, a real deal finance man. That's all we over there, man. It's just trying to get guys the different options and trying to win. You know, you ain't gonna be in a bad position all your life, man. Find some mentors. Take upon yourself, man. If you want to do better and be better in life, find some mentors, man. I know I'm at work, but there's a lot of old heads, man. I used to talk to, man. Like I don't understand these guys now. Like why you can't find nobody to mentor you to help you be better and to focus on things. You got two. Yep. So when it come down to it, man, when I was driving these trucks before I even, got into driving and stuff, old head told me, he said, man, it's easy. He said, I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't no wrong with doing a little extra work to make a little money. You know, he always told me you want to put yourself in position to win, no matter what. So when I see these young guys out here, man, you only can help them so much. You only can help those who want to be helped. The old saying is you can lead the water to the horse. I mean, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink from it. My cousin said the same thing, but he changed it up. He said you can bring the horse to the middle of the water, but it's up to that horse to bend their head down and drink. So that's what they're having the issue with a lot of these young guys, man. You know, they can give you every issue of what's going on. I remember one time I had a homeboy, his coach wanted him to play football so bad. What's going on, underrated? Third, what's going on? What's happening? But this dude, his coach wanted him to play football so bad to the point where he was like, came to his mom. He said, "Man, good kid. Want this guy to play football? He gonna do something great with himself." You know, what the mom said? Well, he needs shoes. Coach said, "I got him shoes." Said, "Well, he needs transportation. I pick him up and take him back and forth to practice every day." So, coach was so determined to make this boy succeed and win. We gotta understand, man. People, we are in a different environment right now, to where you can help or hurt your option. And like I say, I'm not saying that the guys are complaining, but to the point of it is, we know this is the issue with these women. We already know they're not going nowhere. So, what are we gonna do to change the mentality and change the people? Like, how are we gonna change this mentality to where our boys can win? How are we gonna change the mentality of people to where we all, what I'm saying, survive? Because you gotta look at it this point. When it comes down to it, you got the same young man who you look down on because he wearing them holy shoes, or he in a bad situation. That same young man could be robbing you about 3, 4 years from now. He could be in a situation to help you or hurt you. He might be with a group of guys that's doing it. He tell them no, hey man, not this guy, leave him alone. Or he could be in a situation to say, when I tried to ask you for some help, you told me to get lost I'm young and dumb, stupid. I don't want to learn nothing. I don't want to be nothing. It wasn't my fault that I wasn't in a better position, man. I didn't have the proper training, and it comes down to it real hard for dudes to get man training later on in life. You know, that's a cold blooded thing, man. To get man training later on in life. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link. I want some brothers to come up here, man. I just want to build, man. Get some stuff started, and then we're gonna drop off and go to Perfect Timing Podcast, man. Cause I like the brother how he's moving, doing things. So let's push it forward. Yeah. So like I said, when it come down to it, man, we all we got. We gotta look out for each other. A lot of dudes, we not looking at the whole aspect of, a lot of us ain't got a fair, we didn't get a fair trial, man. You know, none of us was really born with silver spoons in our mouths, man. We gotta go out here and grind and hustle and get it in and day out. So what's it to the next man if you can't provide a little information, man, to get these young boys ahead? Like I always talk about my son never actually got um, instruction from me onto how to live and to be a man for the most part. We talked about a few things, but we had a conversation because I felt like I dropped the ball. Yeah, and I did say because I started looking from a situation to where we did things, we talked out, showed them little stuff. Too much didn't take them fishing and stuff like that to a degree because I was always working. But the point of it is, I put a lot of money and a lot of time invested in them. But there were certain other things that we didn't accrue. So I want to ask them to make sure, like literally, I didn't drop the ball with them, and we talked and everything was cool. For the most part, I was expressing to him, I'm like, yeah, man, everything good with you, how you the school doing? Because he's actually in college. And then we was talking from the issue of what's going on right now with him and how he's doing. And his main thing, hope y'all didn't lose. Yeah, 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 because I can never tell with this Bluetooth, man. This Bluetooth be jumping on and off sometime. But with my son, I basically helped him out, gave him, little keys here and there. But his whole thing was he he was in a position to win because he seen how I move. He seen how, I basically took care of the house, did things for him and his sister. As he got older, had the twins, seeing how they were, kept and done right to the point where he knew how to, handle things. He got a dog right now. This crazy boy. I understand where he come from because he done had that dog since a puppy, and he really didn't want to get a dog up to actually move back up. So he ended up going to stay with his uncle and everything far away. But he ended up getting a job out there, and everything was cool. But to the issue at hand, you know, all he want to do is be productive. Do what he got to do, go to school, and make things work for him. A lot of people don't, have that easy life, man. He works because he want to be, self-sufficient, relying on himself. Every once in a while, he might come, borrow a little money here and there. You hit a few hiccups in the road. As a young dude, I don't mind that, man, giving them a hand. You know, to a degree, I still make them pay certain bills. I still got a cell phone, in my name to where, it's cheaper for him to be on the plan. Plus, basically where he was at, it was a little more expensive to have a plan all the way out there, and Valdosta where he was at. But now he moving back to Atlanta. He might be good. You know, he ended up getting insurance in his name for his car, even though it's a little expensive. But that's the whole thing about being a man. Budgeting yourself and set your bills up. It's been a couple of times he actually made a mistake, but that's the whole point of growing. You learn. I was in a position to learn about bills and all this stuff, like I said, at a young age. I was interested in stuff. I'm wondering, like, how you get paid, how you do the shit. Even as a young dude, I seen dudes sell drugs, money transactions, and, going to buy stuff. Even though I wanted certain things, I knew to an extent whether my mom had the money or not. Well, my grandma, whoever I stayed with, or I know could get me something. I would, go for the, stuff that's reasonable versus the more expensive stuff. Because I started noticing that every time I got something that was more expensive, it was always a no. But things that were more reasonable, it was always granted to a certain degree. Well, yeah, I guess you can have this. I guess you can get this. And when it came down to it, like, it's easy for me to compromise. I learned that as a young kid. And that's what a lot of men got to understand. You got to learn how to, don't settle for less. But the point of it is, compromise for a benefit that fits you. That was my thing. I knew it benefited me more to actually ask for something that I can get versus, trying to go for the gusto. Get something that I knew was out of my league or wasn't gonna be given to me. But the point of it is I want it. You know, my younger kids do that all the time to an extent now. They might ask for something like game cards. They might just want $5 or $10 because they were so used to trying to ask for those $100 game cards and wasn't getting them. They were used to asking for those $50 game cards and wasn't getting them. I remember one Christmas, I think me and my brother ended up getting my boys some game cards. And the funny part about it was, gave these dudes $100 game card a piece. My brother gave him like I think $50 game card a piece, 150. One of my sons, this dude spent all his money on this game card in like at least under 20 minutes. I would say under 20 minutes. $150 under 20 minutes. You buying stuff 25, 25, 50. And I'm like, dude, you spending all this money on this stuff? And he was like, yeah. Then turn around, won't even playing the game no more for a minute. And I'm like, you know how many toys you could have got? You know how much money you could have saved? And when you always go out to eat, when you want certain stuff, you could have got that if I didn't want to get it for you. But, you know, teach my kids a lesson. It's more of an expensive lesson for me, but the point of it is, now they get it. They know spending all this money on these game cards. Yeah, the fun is cool. They still, play these games and try to get money from time to time, but they starting to see a little bit more value about money, you know. And that's something you can't put a price on, man. Once you start teaching kids some type of value to where they pretty much know by spending money, it's going out. But if no money's coming in, it's gonna be a problem, you know. Even in I actually got them a tutor to try to, help them be more better, with the math and stuff like that in school because it's COVID, man. And the teachers were trying, but there's only so much they can do when them kids not in their face, But my my sons had like two teachers. One was a reading teacher, and one was a math teacher, which they both were teachers in the same class, and that's how they split it up. In the other grades they didn't have that, but these two teachers were so dynamic together. They actually work with each other, and the funny thing is, they actually tutor kids. They're fourth grade teachers, but they tutor kids that's in the fifth that's about to go to middle school. You know, so leave their class, they usually don't leave the, you know. And the funny thing, one of my two older kids, they went to a school. I tried to get them in it because it was a charter school for my younger ones. The older ones, they went to a charter school, but they had to live in the district, and there was a lottery for it. But the school was so excellent to the point where whatever grade you come in, kindergarten, first grade, or whatever, you got that same teacher for all 5 years. So it wasn't a mistake to where if you done something wrong, to where they know your behavior, they know your situation at home, so they didn't kind of judge you on the premise of certain things about your behavior. Man, that was a great experience for my two older kids, man. You know, and no issues, no worries. You know, you got to start thinking about that stuff, man. And I know I've been busting about my kids a lot, but look at you and yourself. You got to start thinking about that too, about how going through what's going on, Pastor. But you got to start thinking about that for yourself as well. Man, this thing is like burning my phone up. I have to bring my arm down to reach this AC in my vent. Yeah, man, mess with my phone. But like I said, for the most part, man, same thing as men. You gotta put yourself in position to win, man. You gotta start hanging around dudes. These guys on the panels we talk to, some of these guys just don't know this stuff, man. Like I said, I learned about guns at a young age through one of my family members, my cousin. You know, like I said, when I was growing up, it were things that I didn't like the way he was showing me, about money and budgeting, and you know, it was crazy. Like for like a couple of weeks, almost damn near the summer, I think. But we was just eating hot dogs damn near every day. Sometimes eat a little breakfast here and there, but mainly hot dogs. And I was like, dude, like I told my older brother, which like I wanted to kick him in the head. I was like, dude, I told you that he was making us eat hot dogs and I ain't like him to the point for you not to say something. You my brother. And he laughing, but he was like, aha. But my cousin was proving the point. He came to me and told us. He was like, yeah, why y'all never asked me about eating hot dogs? We was like, we're not supposed to question adults. You pretty much told us to eat hot dogs. So that's what we pretty much ate. To the extent, got tired of eating hot dogs though. But the point of it was, he was teaching us, you don't have the money, you gotta know how to budget. Do you want to eat one meal and be full for a couple of hours, or do you want to eat these hot dogs and have a meal pretty much 3-4 times a day? It might not be what you want, but it's gonna keep you full. You know, and to the extent, start messing around, giving us noodles and all that stuff. Actually, start giving us breakfast. But he was funny like that. I always try to show some type of lessons, and I'm like, man, I ain't studying you, dude. Like, I didn't get it. So I got older, and I started saying, okay, well, that makes more sense now. And same issue with your parents. You might don't like might don't like your parents the way they come at you for certain things that you do, but over time, when you get older, you start understanding it. You know, and as men, you got to go and seek, friendships that's liable, that benefit you. Because to the point, sometimes You can have friends. They don't mean you no good. They only out for themselves. And you got to determine whether you're going to have to keep that relationship going as a friend to benefit you or hurt you. Because when it comes down to it, you got friends that'll help you out in certain ways in certain situations. But but if they know how you move, they'll put you in a position to win to help you out or hurt you. You know, I have partners that pretty much say, you know, you ain't supposed to be doing this, you ain't supposed to be doing that. But then you'll have those partners that don't listen to anything and they just basically suffer the consequences and the repercussions of things to come. And it's crazy them just just reflecting on stuff. But I was looking at situation. I was talking with a guy on the panel, and basically he was coming to an understanding that he got done wrong, and nobody was actually there to help him because the people that were there, they didn't mean him no good. I said, "Where your partners at?" I ain't got no friends. I said, "You mean to tell me you have no male friends? No old guys, no young guys?" I'm like, "Really?" So I'm like, "Who do you talk to?" You know, mosquito something in my truck. Damn, dude. Yeah, I had a mosquito in my truck. Roll down my window. But yeah, man, when it come down to it, guys gotta have somebody to, work with, bounce stuff off of, man, see if stuff is viable for you, help you out. Because you could be in a situation instead of, getting help, you're getting hurt. Because then, to a certain extent, that's all some people want to do, man. See you lose. If I'm in a position, man, I got I got several partners, man. That's what I deal with on the regular. There's that whole no new friends, even old dudes that I went to school with, kicked with. They're associates, man. I talk to, occasionally every once in a while, man. But you got your true partners, man, who you always, can holler at no matter what. Even if you ain't kicked it for a minute, y'all always, make things right because you gotta understand people move nowadays, man. Nobody don't even like the old days where you stay in the same city, a couple years, man. You moving around. You know, I moved from one side of town to the next side of town. I've dealt with people, to a degree, but I've always, remained humble for myself and, dealt with people that was, pretty much helping me in a position to win. You know, like I said, I got a partner that me and him bounce ideas off of, try to get things working in a situation to make money. Started business together and everything. That's the direction we be going, man. We have these panels, like I keep saying, I'm here for the knowledge and the information. A lot of stuff that BGS talks about, man, he don't just deal in the ministry of streets. He deal with finance. He talks about stuff with the economy. You don't have too many people that just come from every angle. Art, Art New Style TV, he does. That's why I like his channel. I come over there all the time, man. I always. What's going on, Mr. Z? Black and Effect. But I always go over there and support art, man. These are the people I support, man. I go over there all the time dealing with them. You know, sometimes I might go to channels to change the narrative, but sometimes I might go over there just for the knowledge, man, the good content. You know, Roger, another channel I go on a lot, you know, and I go on Black channel, man. I go over there, man, just to be kind of with them goofies, man. But some of them dudes over there, they get mind manipulated and they don't know what's going on in their life, and I just sit there, man. Like I don't know, man. Like who raised you, man? Like who raised you? But to the extent, man, it's a lot of good channels on here. Gold P being one of them, man. I'm always in there every morning. Gold P drop, you know, DS1. Go over to his channel. I'll be popping in and out. But Gold P, man, 9 laws of self-government. I always talk about that. You know, Mr. Z, if you put more content, I'll talk about his channel. Uh, Air quotes. But yeah, man, them dudes, man, be going in. Even Chart Willie channel. That channel, man, go over there, listen to some good content as well. But the point of it is, like, you got to be in it to win it, man. If you surround yourself with good people, you got no problems. No problems. Surround yourself with good people, you literally have no problem. And that's the thing. That's why I keep pushing that you got to be in it to win it. You got to surround yourself with good people. If you surround yourself with good people, what issues will you have? They're gonna guide you. They're gonna help you. They're gonna make sure you're not getting caught up. That's a winning combination, ain't it? That's what you really need for a person to be on your side. Why are we gonna have issues? Why are you gonna make an issue for yourself when you don't have to? Why are you gonna go through bull crap when you don't have to? That's what I've been trying to get people to understand. Put your put yourself put yourself in position to win. Yeah, I said it, Mr. Z. What's going on, Joe? And for people that just coming in, this is Thanos Sheed. And like I said, I snapped my finger. All the women are gone. All the issues that we have, they gone. So what are we doing from here? Nothing but building. Nothing but building. You know, no issues, no worries, no problems. Because why? They don't exist. All we have to do and stay focused on is winning. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Guys working together, guys talking about the money. I named a couple of channels. You know, shout out, like I say, to Joe. He popped in the building. Shout out to Mr. Z, Black in Effect, past the $40. Third Ward, Big Cornell, Underrated Darkness, the number one grinder. L Nixon. And L Nixon, man, it's funny. That bill you did with Kane the other day, I think it was on Monday night, man. Dude, I sit up there listening to that the whole time, man. I wanted to comment so bad to jump on the panel. Y'all was cooking up, man. Knew what's going on, man. Usually you be around, knew. I thought I ain't even see you, man. I'm like, I ain't usually knew be over there. I think was you in no, that was at Gold P. You said you was in the chat. But yeah, man. They was going in hard over there, man. Talking about, the situation between the men, what you gotta do, how you gotta build, how you gotta move, don't get caught up. Them guys are going in. What's going on, BGS? Yeah, but like I said, it's Thanos Sheed over here, BGS. I just snapped my finger. The women are gone. Ain't no more worries about them. Like I said, ain't no more issues. Any issues we have with the women and all the stuff that we got, they gone. Like, our whole focus right now is building. We're maintaining the status quo at hand, and the status quo is that we winning. We're gonna be over here building, talking about stuff. There's nothing else to be talked about. You know, if you got an issue with a chick, it ain't over here. You know, they gone. You know, I want to focus on, like I say, and I always talk about that with BGS. BGS had me come over here for the knowledge, and I always refer to that. I came over here for the knowledge, and you can highly recommend it. And it's funny that I talk to most guys, and they say that women told them about this space, and they most of the time referred about BGS. And it's funny that that situation came out. But yeah, like I said, here for the knowledge. Talk the talk, walk the walk. Don't say you ain't you about it, but you ain't really about it. But yeah, man, like I said, what are we gonna do to get this money? How are we gonna build? How are we gonna tell these young men to not get caught up? Like I said, I would never advise a young man not to get married. I show him his options, and I show him not to get caught up. That's the biggest thing. Not to get caught up. I don't want you to make no mistakes. And if I made a mistake, I'm gonna make for damn sure that you don't make that mistake I did. You know, make for damn sure you don't make the mistake I did because, you know, same thing as my uncles. I have my uncles, they come around, they might tell me something, and I look at their situation and what they in, and depending on what they telling me, I gotta throw my fishing pole out there and test the water. Cause I'm like, man, I am not finna sit here and listen to you, and I'm looking at your life, and I'm like, man, now they might tell me come over there with some stock tip. I'm like, what's your background on this? Like how did you hear about this? Because when it boils down, you look at your family, you know them. Look at them, hey man, I know you. You ain't no stock dude. You don't read the charts. So who told you this? Like, where's your source? Where'd you get your information from? That's what I want to know. Where's your source of information coming from? Yeah, I was gonna hit you with it, but I see what you were saying. Like I said, women are gone, so we ain't having no issue. But I get it. I see what you're going. But that's like the biggest thing, man. I try to get guys to understand. As far as dealing with these women, we gotta have a blueprint. We gotta help these young men have a blueprint and to figure out how they going to, get by on things, how they going to deal with things, because that's the biggest issue overall. Yeah, man. So I'm moving around. I forgot this doggone mask. But yeah, try to get these young guys to, move a little different. I don't I don't try to put these young guys in a position to lose, man. And that's how I look at. If I hear guys telling, it's not worth the risk, you've experienced it. You know, what's going on, SoundCloud? But yeah, that's just like one of my friends. His old lady, had um she never had meat. She pretty much was a vegetarian, I got this mask on, but she pretty much was a vegetarian up until the point where she actually started eating meat and found out it was pretty good. Her mom was mad at her, but the point of it was, when it came down to it, that was like one of her biggest things about eating that meat because nobody never told her how good it was. You know, nobody literally never told her how good it was. So that was her main issue with the process on eating meat. She was saying it was so good to the point where nobody never told her how good it was. And that's what I try to tell these young guys, man. I understand, the older guys, they say rolling the dice, but you got to give them an option, man. Choose A or B. Go to this door, go through this door, go through that door. I guess they're gonna take it off right here. But I wouldn't have these young guys coming with issues and not showing them no type of guidance because in the end, that's what they need, the guidance. Hey Grizzly, what's going on, man? I just seen your live earlier. What's going on, Bruce? I should do like I did earlier, give a moment of silence for the issue at hand. Like I say, you see the picture of the up there. Yeah, man, just really moving around and doing stuff. But yeah, man, the issue at hand, man, is getting these young guys, to a point where they can be happy. Man, what the heck is that? Yeah, man. Sorry about that. I had to talk to a customer. You know, in the words of Roger, man, I'll be out here working, man, making that money. The bad part is it's so doggone humid down here right now. Dang, sweating like a mug. But yeah, man, like I say, I seen your video, young Grizzly, how you was exercising, man, at your job. You know, get it in when you can, man. That's what I say. My thing is, my physical job, I pretty much slow down on my, you know, lifting and stuff like that. But to the extent I do other stuff, man, I got a punching bag. I do a whole bunch of walking, you know, and from that standpoint, go from there. I hate it that you got to do that, but hey, man, stay safe. Better do your research and figure out which one you want. That's the only thing I can tell you, man. I know. Hey, man, you got a different type of heat over, man. Over there where you at, that stuff is called death. Hey, I used to work over there in Arizona. I never known nobody to start work at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like literally from 11 to probably close to 3. Like literally no work. No work. Like 11 to 3 almost, no work. Like when that sun start peaking, man, you see all the service guys coming out doing the poles, checking water meters, doing cable. All them trucks, man, they flying across the city. Because when it get to a certain time, all of them stop, man. It's like it's like my friend, this old lady from Switzerland. They have their little breaks where they go home for about a couple hours and come back. They have time to eat with the family. I'm like, man, how do y'all even get work done like that? You know, I don't know if it's implemented that way now, but you know, she was saying how she remember her dad come home, eat with the kids. They might take naps and stuff. And it's funny, man. I was like, I don't know how y'all do it, man, but it was a good build though, because she always had her dad around, and that's the main thing I'm talking about. You know, you having that situation to where you can provide, you got that freedom to where you can do stuff like that for your family. Man, that's gold, man. It's like that's one of my biggest things right now of coming home. Being able to talk with my boys, deal with them, implement a little discipline, and then go along with my day. Because if they ain't right, I gotta get them right. You know, and that's the point. I remember, who was it? Dang, I forgot what movie it was. I think it was Minister Society. Yeah, Minister Society, when they was like, when the dude was getting robbed. Oh yeah, 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 that because that was Kane. Kane was robbing the dude, and the guy is like, man, what you doing, brother? You're like, hey, man. He said, better me than the police. And I stand by that with my kids. I push them to the issue. You know, better me put discipline on you than the police. So they learn little key stuff to not get caught up and not get in trouble like that. Because with me pushing so much discipline on them, you know, everybody told me it's gonna blow up in my face. Ah, man, them kids gonna be reckless. They're gonna be too wild when they grow up, man. But they got that sense of freedom, but they still had it. What's going on, Chief Rock? Man, they had that sense of freedom, but they also still had that sense of direction, man, to where when they got on their own, my son and my older son and daughter, they did their thing, but the majority of the time, they always remember that little stuff in the back of their head. That's just like even my two younger boys. I told the story on Roger Channel before. We was at a party, and the kids out there, doing something bad. I know it was either throwing rocks or cussing, to the extent they were doing something bad, to the point where when the parents was looking over at them, all the other kids was wilding out except my two kids. They kept looking over there like what adults were. And the kids like, man, nah, come on, let's go. They're like, nah, we can't do that. Like our daddy'll get us. And that was the funny part that, They was like, man, you got your kids shook, man. I need to send my kids to your house. And I told every one of them that you said, I say, look, if I can't beat your kids, I don't want them over there. And I say, look, I'm gonna tell you now, I'm not whooping them. I'm beating them. So hey, that's you got to implement that fear, man, because they got to know its consequences for their actions. Like I say, better me than the police. You know, so to the extent, man, we gotta instill that discipline. I mean, you literally have grown people. I know dudes in their 50s. You got guys like me trying to instill some type of discipline in them, man. That shouldn't be. You got family members, you know, old enough to be your dad. You know, why are you still moving like this at this age? You know, hey man, go get some help. Get off them drugs. Hey man, you got kids. Hey, at least take care of your kids before you do that stuff. Like, the best thing to do is just get off of it altogether. But, to the extent, man, why are you still moving like this? When I was a child, I spoke and act like a child. But when I became a man, I laid down my childish ways, you know, and I added on, implemented a structure to become a man. And the only way to implement that structure and becoming a man, you got to surround yourself with those people, man. I mean, just simple as that. You can't be, I mean, it's okay to hang and kick with your friends. Like I said, I go to different channels and have my fun, but it's certain channels, man, when they pop, they go live or they do pre-records, shout out to them, BGS, shout out to Roger, shout out to, you know, Underrated Darkness, shout out to Art and Style, always TV. I'm over there, man. I'm getting that content, man. Like I said, if Mr. Z put out more content, man, I'll be over there too. Mr. Z got to go live a couple of times, man. The myth, the man, the legend, Black in Effect. But yeah, man, like I said, you got older dudes, man. You literally, you fought and shouted. Literally, you are fought and shouted. And I'm about to get ready to drop. Well, it ain't even 4 o'clock yet. I gotta make sure I drop back and go over there with perfect timing. But like I said, man, you literally 40. You damn near 50. 50. And you still having these issues in life. Like, come on, man. I know probably my phone probably dropped like 20 times. Y'all hear me underwater. I ain't even got to already the country part over here. My phone be acting up like a mug. But like I say, man, you got guys too old to be acting like this. It don't make no sense. Literally, you this old and you haven't grasped, a concept on I ain't got nothing. Like that's the only thing you could literally tell yourself. I don't have nothing. Not, you know what I'm saying? Man, I got a car. You ain't got no car, you know. And if you do got a car, man, you ain't doing what it take to keep that car up. Simple stuff like getting an oil change, man. Come on. You know, even if you wasn't taught to get an oil change, you know, once you get into stuff, man, you should make it your goal to learn majority everything you need to learn about the position that you're in. And when BGS talked about using timers when he worked at a fast food joint and being more sufficient with his, time, you know, being more sufficient, you know. I mean, it's crazy to where We literally gonna be in position to where we're gonna have to, you know, I got my mask on, so it's gonna be a little in and out. But the crazy part is, man, we literally, I don't know. Let me pause. It's gonna be loud as crap in here. Go, Professor. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Oh no, that's why I put my dolly at. Yeah, man. Go, Professor. Uh, I ain't eat no ham sandwich today, so you better watch out, man. So literally loud in this place. The Hodges, what's going on? So P. So I'm officially finished with JOB number one and finna get ready to go to JOB number two. Hustle, hustle hard. But like I said, man, you know, and that's one of the key things my grandma always told me to focus on. Ain't nothing like an old fool and a young fool. Old fools come about because of young fools. When they're young and foolish, they should learn to elevate themselves. But because they don't elevate themselves, they grow to be old fools. And the crazy part about that is when you become an old fool, that's all you know is your foolish ways. You know, each one teach one the motto. Why are we not helping each other? Shout out to Gold P. You know, he structured his channel a certain way. You know, Wednesday read, you know, he talked about the laws that were in effect in which the Panthers were able to expose to protect the people. You know, and the biggest thing that he always pushed people, Gold Professor always said, if you don't come to any other day, always come to Thursday, the health talk. Well, he talks about a lot of stuff, man. You know, talking about your health. You know, I mean, pretty much you know the topic of hand on certain days dealing with him in this panel because it's structured that way. You know, you're gonna learn something about reading because on Wednesdays he say he wants to, you know, break that cycle in which people have that myth of saying, you know, we don't read, hide in the book. When it come down to the issue at hand, some of us don't read too much. Some of us don't hardly read anything. But the point of it is, I mean, even if you got to pick up a children's book, that's a step, reading in the right direction. You know, they have it sold to the issue of they have a reading pen now, to where you scan the words with a pen and it tells you the word. Because in most cases, a lot of kids are learning off of sight. And I try to break that for my kids, but to an issue, I didn't know that they were teaching them that way until I actually sat them down one day. And it was almost like my son was trying to remember the word versus read the word, you know? Because I didn't understand that with the sight words. Their whole implement was repetitive. The more you see it, the more you learn it. And I was like, that don't make sense. Why they're not focusing on the sounds and the letters? Because if you know the sounds and the letters, then you know how to read the words. You know, abbreviations. You know, it's going to be harder for them that way. You know, learning what word makes this, and when you combine these two letters and book, boot, like what sounds make what. And my favorite with shout out to Cat Williams, that knife. But yeah, man, you know, teaching, man, that's like the biggest thing I don't understand when it comes to some brothers, man. Like, focus on your money, learn the craft. You know, I tell most guys, truck driving is the easiest thing to do. Some of that stuff is no freight touch. I was on the Erica channel, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, and she was talking about how the truck drivers now next year they're gonna implement it to where convicted felons can't get licensed. So the ones who grandfathered in, they good. But next year they're gonna cut down on that. And you know what happens when we start cutting down on the pool of drivers? Two things gonna happen. They're getting the drivers from somewhere else, or that automation is gonna get closer and closer. But you know, like BGS was referring to about the insurance. And like I say, he was right about that. That's like the Tesla's biggest thing. Like that's Tesla's biggest thing when it comes to the cars. The insurance on them. Why do you think you can't get to a certain degree? I gotta look into it, but I know Tesla personally have their own insurance. I'm quite sure you can get insurance on the other, but they're not gonna insure you for the self-driving. If you're self-driving and you're doing something and get into a wreck, that's all on you. When it was reported you wasn't, in the front seat or you doing something crazy like most of these people sitting in a passenger seat making TikTok videos. If you got enough money, literally, to buy a Tesla to a certain degree, because some of the Teslas are cheaper now, you should have a little more sense than to sit in your passenger seat and ghost ride the wheel. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you made some type of advances, or maybe just got that money in a settlement or something to the point where you just kind of crazy with it. But I don't know. That's kind of crazy, man. I mean, getting in that. Hey, stupid people do stupid stuff. That's all I got to say about it. Stupid people do stupid stuff. But yeah, man. I mean, to the issue at hand, people need to start learning more, get more productive with their life, putting themselves in more positions to win. Like I said, deal with people that want to win. Go out there and find you some friends that want to, start a company. Go out there and find you some friends that want to deal in stock. Hell, we got people on YouTube. Like I said, I just named two off the back. Of course you got, the Black Brain Trust where they talk about a slew of technology and advances in, science and stuff like that. I named Real Deal Finance. You know, I named Mike Shannery. Um, of course, you got the largest, I think it was Thai City and the largest, I think it was Logisphere. But you know, slew of guys out here talking about finance and getting money. Those are the ones I personally go to. T Grizzly always talking about coding. I think it was Keep It Techie. It's so many guys in the manosphere that you can learn so many things from. Going outside, I mean, you literally a slew of people in every field. Gold professor. Well, I ain't gonna say what he's doing, but he's in the health field. He told me some things. He worked with that. He's an instructor. You know, you got guys like Nino. Dialogue and narrative reviews. He's doing documentary style panels. I mean, documentary style videos on YouTube. Then he's gonna start opening his panels. He's got a master's in the arts. You know. Then you got the PhDs in the space. Dr. Dunbar. Green Gorilla. Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. Nicole Ali. I mean, there's a slew of men and women that are in this space that, provide good information and that can help you father your life. I mean, but it's your choice to, deal with the rhetoric. And that's the crazy part. You know, I'm just really on rambling and talking right now, but that's the crazy part. When you have panels that talk about money, you don't have as many people come on because nobody they not here for the money. You know, Me and Gold Professor, we talk offline all the time, and I tell him, your channel was good, man, but a lot of people don't want to hold themselves accountable. When you When Gold Professor apply that discipline that from the 9 laws of self-government, rule number 1, a lot of people don't want that. They don't want nothing to do with discipline. You know, why I can't eat cake? Shout out Gold P. You know what I'm talking about. At 6 in the morning. You know, why I can't eat cake at 6 in the morning? With cake. At that, you know, that discipline, man. You know, sometimes I fail in my discipline. You know, it's hard to stay on track when you're feeding the beast. That's all you're doing in most cases. You're feeding the beast. But when it comes down to it, you know, what are we gonna do? 9 laws of self-government. Rule number 1, discipline. Let me see if I can remember them all. Rule number 2, to apply protection. Rule number 3, I always talk about that, is apply selfishness. You know, I get kind of rusty after that. I know 7 and 8 are interchangeable. 4, between 4 and 5, that's where I'm stuck at. And I know number 9, plant these seeds and watch them grow. I mean, but more or less between 7 and 8, they're interchangeable. I think it's know thyself, and the other one, know who you are. And like I said, I know between 4 and 5 is to read and exercise. I think I got them off the back. I know I have them written down because I always want to make sure that I get the order right, but I'm actually driving right now, so can't pull them up. But a lot of people don't want to apply that discipline, you know. And that's why I was saying, meeting um Gold Professor when he came down to Atlanta, meeting up with Kane, we had our talks. Those brothers, they stand on a certain type of principle. Yeah, Kane has his moments where he, refer back to the old way, but like the song say, I got it out the mud. That's what made me. So of course it's only right that you're gonna display or talk about the interactions, but you see the growth in him, how he can switch it up. That code switching that people talk about. You move this way when you're dealing this way. You move that way when you're dealing over there. A lot of people can't, it's to the point can't do that. You gotta always remain hood. You can't remain hood when you're going into the bank for a business loan. You know, Afternoon, Shonda. But you can't remain hood going into a bank for a business loan. No, I'm gonna be chopping up when I get up here, but try to make this quick because actually about to get ready to drop down. Shout out to everybody in here. I want y'all to, if you can, Zap. I didn't even see you come in. Okay, yeah. Oh, I got it right. 4 is read, 5 is exercise, know your worth is 6, and 7, know who you are. Gold Professor, the 9 laws of self-government. Like I said, it's hard for people to apply that discipline, man. Get an understanding. You know, it's hard for people to grasp that concept because those 9 laws of self-govern. is to govern your life and the best benefit for you. You know, you can use those laws to benefit other people, but mainly, like law number 3, applying selfishness, the laws are mainly for you as well, to govern your life, you know, live a certain way. Man, go Professor B said that too, because Gold Pete, when he came down here, you know, rode his bike all the way to New Mexico. He was probably about 20 minutes from the line. You know, he didn't drive DOT standards, but he drove. But you know, like I say, shout out to everybody that came in. I know my connection gonna be bad now. 'Cause I'm going over this bridge to the drop zone. But I'm gonna go over the Perfect Timing podcast. Shout out to everybody. You know, you just type in Perfect Timing podcast and search them up. Going over there, chop it up with Perfect Timing. You know, trying to get his sub count up. You know, shout out to him. You know, he has the man show. And like I said, this panel wasn't to discourage women from coming up. The panel was mainly to let men know that Thanos, has snapped his finger. And the women are gone, so we don't have issue with women anymore. Let's focus on men and let's build. Let's make money and let's build. I don't know if you guys can hear me right now still because I'm crossing over the breakout zone. But like I said, let's get to the money. You know, in the end, all this stuff will fade away. But if you ain't got money, you don't have the structure in your life, it all goes down the drain. All goes down. And that's the main key. Having that structure, having that build to where you can move a little way, man. You can get out of, you know, these, you know, like I said, move in a different way, man. Put yourself in position to win. When it come down to it, get your finance together, but gain knowledge of understanding what you're going to do with the money once you get it. Don't make the money with no intent on learning how to use the money to make more. Can you hear me? I'm breaking up. Yes. Mic check 1 2. But when it comes down to it, man, like I keep saying, get money and work at it. And like I say always, we here. We are here. Shout out to Perfect Timing Podcast. About to go over there. Anybody go over there in the chat. You know, hit we here. Type in we here. Type in we here. You know, when you go over the Perfect Timing Podcast, you can search it, but type it we here. If you type we here, you know, type in troll too. Because I troll Perfect Timing Podcast just like I do Go Professor. Hey, Go Professor behavior. Get it together. Get it together. But once again, man, shout out to everybody that came through. We here. We here. And like always, we gone. Perfect Time Podcast, the man show. About to be lit.